This is our app and we name our app as Bookmented. So as we discussed before, this app will help to make a book more interactive by using AR. So we have four features here. You can see the four buttons, and these four buttons do four different things. This button also change color when we just keep our finger on top of it, and then we can see this, and once we press this it changes the color, and we now go for scanning the book. So once we press this button, now this app will enable us to scan a book. So let's say this is our sample book, and now once we scan this book we can see the blue planet Earth and the satellite moon. So it's animated, and we can see the moon from the close proximity. We can see the Earth is rotating. So this is one of the feature. So this will create interest for the readers. And now let's have a look what we have inside the book. So now I'm flipping the book. Now we're getting inside. So let's say if we scan this image, this is the lunar module. So it's just a regular image if we see here, and then once we scan this we can see the 3D object on top of it, so that the learners can see this thing with great detail, and they can look around how it look like, what is the material. Okay, and yes, so yes, they can see this stuff. And then if we, this app also has another feature. So if we now move to another page, we can see that, so here's some pictures, and we can even get some video out of these pictures. So this picture is explaining how the common module take the lunar module, and then this is an animated video you can see from the book. And so we can even see the actual video footage of the process here from here. So we see like the docking procedure from the book, like same thing, how the common module taking out the lunar module from the stage 3. Okay, so this will explain some complex idea which is hard to understand just by reading. It will help. And here, so typical book again, if we scan this image we can see the actual footage taken from the Apollo 11 mission. Viewer can see some video from here. We also make an option to use this app for black and white printed document. So let's say if this is a lecture note from this book or like any other instruction manual, so this app also helps in the same with the same AR feature. So now we can see, once we scan this image we can see the moon in 3D, and we can see the lunar module landed on the moon, and we can see the common module is flying around the moon. We'll do now, we'll use the common module button, and once we click this, so we can see a dot here, and once we press the dot here we can see the entire common module here, and we can see and look around to this module, and we can see the material from the closely and the features. On the top we can see the mechanism for docking with the lunar module. So this will be a very helpful tools for those who want to learn something while staying at home, and this is an interesting feature for the young children actually. So now we are going back. Once we press the back button we can go back, and now we will check the 3D object scan. As we can see here, lunar landing module, and what we'll do here, we will scan this 3D toy through our app, and now we can see 3D model overlap over the toy. So this is another interactive tools for learning. Sometimes when kids see this thing in 3D over their toys or over any object, they get more interested and they will know more about it. For example, here if we look into the 3D model, we can see the material, but for the toys it's hard to understand actually it is made of metal or what kind of metal they are using. Yes, they use the color, but here we can see that the color and texture as well. So that will add another value with this app. Now we will use service module feature. This app also enable us to insert a 3D object in the environment, and here we can see that command and service module floating in the sky in actual scale. We have seen this drawing before, we have seen this model before, but how many of us really know how big is that? This model showing the actual scale of the project, and we realize actually if we see on the top, the command module is not that big. It's just the space inside is just as big as a sedan car. So this kind of app, this kind of feature actually helps learner to learn things in more accurate way. Thank you very much for listening.